Carlifestyle podcast
with host
Seth Rose from Exotics Rally,
T-minus Gabe Florido
from Carlifestyle.
Welcome. Yeah, right. Yeah.
That is so you, dude.
Yeah, no. I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Seriously.
I don't know. You usually like the fucking man with this shit, like coming up with ideas or topics. Do you want to talk about Sapphire?
No, I think that should probably be on the next one.
Okay.
Or two more away.
Or we could mention that we started the
okay.
GoFundMe.
The last one was Victor Muller. That was the last one. Spiker.
Okay.
And then no. Maybe I'm wrong.
Klaus?
No, I think after Victor Muller, we did the Hunt recap.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look, shall we?
Sure. I bought a book.
Carlifestyle.
You know about this?
You bought a book? Think and Grow Rich. Never heard of that.
By Napoleon Hill?
No.
Sold 15 million copies worldwide since 1938.
Does that mean it's a good book?
It means that it's probably pretty successful.
Just because it sold that many copies. Yes. Episode 17. Let's see. Oh, no. 17 was The Hunt.
Then we got
and
18.
then 18 was Victor Muller.
Okay. So 19 is now.
Which
and then
18
next is,
almost didn't exist when I almost screwed up.
I know.
That was...
But whatever.
Yeah.
We got through it. Damien fucking saved the day.
Okay, so 19. This is going to be 19. Episode 19.
Right. There's the bullshit one. Then Klaus.
Well, it's not bullshit. It's just not a...
Nigga. You know what I'm saying.
It's just not a guest.
All right. You understand what I'm saying. Why do I have to be technical? Today.
Well, because I'd rather you not call it bullshit when we're live. Welcome back to podcast number 19.
Fucking Seth's a dick. He hates when I call him that shit.
Yes, I do. Welcome back to the Carlifestyle podcast, everybody. This is going to be episode 19. We've been out of touch for a while. I mean, our last podcast was November 7th. It aired. So we're just about 30 days out, which I guess I was mistaken before because I said about 45 days. So anyway, a lot has
Did you hear
happened.
that, everybody? He said he was mistaken.
Yes.
Cherish that.
I made an error. I can own up to it.
Yeah, one in his life. Not too bad.
It's not bad at all. No, I'm pretty proud of that record.
No, you should be. Yeah.
So anyway,
thank you for breakfast, Seth Rose.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you also for the cab here.
Yes, I
fucking
got
Seth takes care of me, bro.
I got T-minus an Uber.
He did. No, he takes care of me.
So
he does the right thing.
Let's start where we left off. I mean, the last we spoke to our audience, we were heading to SEMA.
Right.
So myself, T-minus, and Gabe,
yep,
the co-owner of Carlifestyle,
correct,
went to SEMA. And we flew out on a real early flight.
Right.
Or did we take a late flight? No, we took a late flight.
We took
we got there
midnight.
late at night. Right. And we stayed at the Aria.
No, wait.
Yeah. No, we got there like 11 o'clock their time.
You're right.
Yeah. And then we went to the Aria Hotel. We stayed there, which was luxury.
Which was probably just a little bit better than Motel 6.
Luxury accommodation.
It was fucking stupid.
I mean, when we got into the room,
it was 3 bedrooms.
It was pretty sick.
Yeah, it was retarded.
I hooked that shit up.
Bro, there was a fucking Richard Branson bathtub in the middle of the floor. It wasn't even in the bathroom. It was just in the middle of the floor.
But I have to admit, the best part of that room was the bathroom in my suite.
That's what I'm talking about.
No. I'm talking about the toilet.
Oh, right. This is the first time you had ever experienced a Japanese toilet.
No, it's actually the second time. It's the Toto toilet.
Yeah.
Which is the fully automatic.
Yep.
Wash and
Toto's
dry.
Toto's from Japan.
Is it?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's where it originated. But the first time I actually experienced that was at Ice and Coco's new house.
Oh.
And they had one. And as soon as I got a tour of the house, Ice was like, yo, you got to check out the bathroom. Listen, this is the shit. Once you sit down on this motherfucker, you're going to want one. And as I am using the facilities, I was on eBay and on my cell phone looking for a toilet. Now, it was kind of funny because Ice was like, yo, listen, even if you got to stand up and take a piss, you're going to start sitting down like a bitch. He's like, because this is the shit. And you know what? He was right. I enjoyed that toilet.
Hell yeah. Dude, I experienced them in 2003 when I was in Japan last. And it was just in, we were just in some regular hotel. But there's like a little arm that comes out from the toilet, and you can control the jet of the water and the temperature.
Oh yeah, the jet, the temperature,
And it's
the
a heated seat. Yeah.
heated seat.
Oh my god, dude!
And then the air dry and everything.
Oh, it makes so much sense.
And I got to tell you, it does a great job. It saves you on paper goods.
Absolutely,
It really does a good job.
it's incredible.
You don't
it's
have-
like a new
and-
experience. It's like you feel like you've never shitted in your life.
And not to be nasty or grotesque, but you really don't have to wipe. You just have to kind of like blot.
You don't even have to do that. You really could just chill.
You can just work it out.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's amazing.
All right, so enough of the bathroom experience because that was kind of cool. We're going to take you through our SEMA adventure. So the first night that we got there, we're all starving. We get off the plane. We're like, yo, we got to eat.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this.
Right downstairs outside the elevators because we were on like a separate wing of the hotel. I guess that's where like the luxury suites are. So we get out. And right there is a Thai restaurant. So I'm like, I like Thai food. Everybody else agreed. We went, we sat down. And if anybody's in Vegas, or if you happen to go to Vegas, definitely visit the Thai restaurant at the Aria Hotel and the Sky Suites.
Right, it's called lemongrass.
Yeah, it was absolutely delicious. With
Except-
the exception
Right.
of when, as soon as we sat down, T-Minus, he likes to go out on the ledge sometimes and, risk it all. He said, on that soup, is that spicy? And they said, well, how spicy do you want it? And he said, well, I want the spiciest you can make it. I want you to kill me. And
No,
they
I said,
and
I
they
want you to make it spicy for like Thai people. Because they always make it spicy for white people, which is like a level 2. I wanted a level 10.
Right. They said, well, what level do you want? They said 1 to 10. He said, I want to go 10. And the guy kind of like smirked and
Yeah,
said,
he laughed. I was like, what
he's
the
like,
fuck?
no problem. And now, if you sit there and look around, it's all Asian people around us.
Right, right,
So we knew it had to be good.
right.
Well, the soup came.
Yeah.
And we could have definitely used like a fire extinguisher.
Seriously, I tasted it, and the initial taste was incredible. It was, really complex. I mean, and just all these different flavors.
And we tend
And
to
then-
be foodies. We
True.
really
And I
we
really like,
food.
and I really like spicy food, and so does Seth. So I was like, and it was, I expected it to be an individual soup. Turns out they bring a soup like large enough for everybody at the table. So Seth had a bowl, Gabe had a bowl, whatever. So I was like, so Seth's like, how is it? I was like, delicious. And as I was saying delicious, the heat starts to hit me. But I'm like, fuck Seth. Like, I'm not gonna tell him this shit.
Yeah, thanks.
So I was like, yeah, it's
Yeah, like, dude,
fucking,
you got to try this. This
I was
is
like,
awesome.
this is amazing. So Seth tried it.
So there
and
I go. Not with a taste. I like slurp like a whole freaking like one of those massive deep like Asian spoons like
Yo.
you get in like a real Chinese restaurant. It's more like a mini ladle.
Yo, Seth was legitimately crying, like tears rolling down his face.
I was crying like a bitch.
couldn't-
That shit hurt. It wasn't hot. It hurt.
It was so funny, man. We had a funny ass dinner.
It legit hurt. And then I was really. But what upset me the most was I felt I wasn't going to enjoy the rest of my
Right,
meal.
right, you're right.
Because it was so hot. I never drank so much water in my life. I sat there with ice cubes in my mouth. It was so bad. I was trying anything. I'm like, bring me some bread, bring me some noodles, something to put the fire out.
Yo, the fucking waiter never stopped laughing. The shit,
Oh, yeah. And then he came by and he says, so, how's soup?
I was like, yeah.
We're like, that's not a 10. That's like
I was
a
like, yo,
fucking
I didn't see the
10,000.
warning label. Thanks.
They should make you sign a waiver.
Seriously.
I mean, I have that sauce, which I don't think you think it's the hottest sauce out there, but I'm going to let you try it. We're going to do that.
Where the fuck is that?
Okay. I have it at my house, and it's called The Source.
Right?
Source.
Yeah, that's how you spell source.
Well, the sauce,
Oh, all right.
and it's called The Source.
Okay.
I was introduced to this, I guess, spice from actually Ben Chen and Mark Solomon in L.A.
Okay.
We're hanging out up in the hills, and he said, "Do you like spice?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he's like, "Oh, you got to try this." So he takes a little dab. I'm talking like a dab,
Right.
and he puts it on a Dorito.
Okay.
And he's like, "Yeah, try this." I'm like, "What's that gonna do?" And he's like, "Oh, you want more?" I'm like, "No, I'll just take that." I took that, and it was equivalent to what we had.
Oh, yeah?
It was fucking violent. It was so bad. So I was like, what the fuck is this? This was some sort of like crazy extract, and it actually comes with a waiver
Yep.
that you should have people sign before you give it to them.
Yep.
And it says to interview the person, basically ask them if they have a heart condition, any type of problems, allergies. I went online right away and I bought this because now I got to fuck with people.
Of course. Dude, I did the same thing. I used to have this sauce called Dave's Gourmet Insanity. And on the back it said warning, like in a warning label.
Yeah, like
will
legit.
strip driveway grease stains and remove paint. And I was like, how hot could it really be? Yeah.
So I wound up buying this for like $80 for like this little bottle. Oh yeah, no.
Holy shit, $80.
And one of the first
It's
people.
got to be ghost pepper or something.
No, it's worse. One of the first people I messed with. I actually didn't realize that I must have had some residue on my hand, and I rubbed my eye.
Oh,
I almost had to go
my
to the
man
hospital.
fucked himself.
I almost had to go to the hospital for
That's
it.
awesome.
But people just, I mean, my girlfriend tried it, and she wasn't very happy. She was very upset about it. Only one person so far, which was Nader, who you know.
Right.
Who used to work for me. He loves spice. He had it, and I made a challenge with people. If they can go 15 minutes with no water or milk, I'll give them $100.
Bro, get the fucking sauce.
You can't do it.
Bro, I can do it.
Okay.
You know who else can do it?
Who?
Without question.
Yeah.
Because I saw him do it. Because I bet him
Go.
on the Dave's Gourmet Insanity. Michael Humani.
Really?
That motherfucker. Listen,
no taste buds?
I don't know if it's just the plain stubbornness.
Right.
But for money, he'll make it happen.
I thought with Nader it was stubbornness, but he was fine. He really it wasn't that he was fine. He was heated.
He just took it.
He took it.
Well, I bet Mike $50 that he couldn't drink like a tablespoon of this shit.
There's no way he could do this. A tablespoon.
Bro, Humani just took it. Like his face was red and he was like bugging. He couldn't stop moving. He was like, oh, this is really bad. It's hurting my brain. But he just took it.
He cannot do a tablespoon of this stuff.
We gotta call him.
If he does a tablespoon of
What
this
do you do?
stuff,
Yeah.
oh, I'll probably give him like 500.
Fuck, Mike Humani. I'm gonna have to recontact
You're being called out right
Seriously.
now. Mike Humani, $500 a tablespoon of this spice, and you got to last. Well, I mean, it's got to be a little longer. He's got to go like a half hour.
He'll do it.
Okay. That's
He'll
a
definitely
challenge,
do
Mike Humani. So anyway, so that was our
Maybe
Thai
we're going
food.
to start videoing our podcast, especially when we get Mike Humani to do this. That should be exciting. I know I'm going to be enjoying it.
So that was our Thai experience, and then from there we chilled out and we went on to SEMA.
Right, that was Monday night.
That was Monday
correct.
night.
Then we went to SEMA first day,
Right.
Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning we went to SEMA to check
Bright
it
and
all
early,
out.
6 a.m.
Yep.
we were there.
We got there early, and I got to tell you, the place was packed. The cars were amazing. We had a great time. We visited a lot of friends that were there. We linked up with a lot of new people. And I'm going to say, I think the hottest thing this year, again, second year in a row, was wide body kits.
I think that was the theme, wide body kits.
I'd like
But
to say it was the theme, but that was like the hottest thing. I mean, like every booth had something with a wide body, but the raw welt,
you're a
Porsche.
roll up big riff, right?
that was huge.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of really cool cars there. It's become not so much a manufacturer's place to sell items. It's more of a car show, I think, at this point. And you get to visit, like, I mean, for my business, Art of Rap, I got to see some of my my suppliers. But at the end of the day, I think it's more of a car show. It's more of a custom car show. What do you think?
I think that's what people see when they come in if they don't have any prior experience at SEMA. I mean, it's really just aftermarket companies that are displaying their best wares on these project cars that they've built for SEMA. But usually their cars are built throughout the entire year, so each car for each booth is just over the top.
What was your favorite part of the SEMA show? What was your favorite car?
Well, let me explain to you this way. I think the first day we walked a total of 7 miles.
Yeah, we were keeping track on our iPhone apps. I think
Yeah.
the first day was like 7 or 9 miles. It was it was pretty intense.
And then we had 2 more days of that, and we didn't even touch the front, rear, or side parking lots.
Correct.
And they were huge.
It is a tremendous show. I mean,
Tremendous.
3 different buildings? And
The
then
last time I was at
the
SEMA,
outside,
right,
the
was
drifting event.
2003, and there was one hall that was the size of Jacob Javits. Now there's 5 halls the size of Javits, plus the outside. I mean, 3 days is not enough to see everything. I don't even know where to start with a favorite. It was just, everything was sick, from lowered trucks to 4x4s to drift cars to exotics. Nuts.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of really crazy cars there.
It was like eye candy for like heaven proportions.
I mean, I don't know if any favorite really sticks out of my head.
Yeah.
The Purple Hurricane done by
Oh, yeah, that
Vorsteiner-
was hot. Yep.
By Vorstein.
That was very hot.
That was really nice. That
Yep.
was one of my favorites.
That white CLS, I don't know who did it with the gold rims.
Yes, that was bonkers.
That was hot.
I think in the Pirelli booth, was there an F12 that was done?
I didn't see that. I don't remember seeing that.
I thought there was an F12. I mean, I thought the Gas Monkey Garage Ford GT.
That was cool.
That was a cool car.
That was cool. Yep. Slam. They had it on air ride.
Yeah, it was really cool, which we'll get to an interesting story about Richard Rawlings in a little
right.
bit. What else sticks out?
I don't know. I don't know what. I don't. There was so many.
I mean, a lot of the new S classes were around. A lot of new S class groups.
Right.
A lot of Ferraris. There was a Pagani, a Huayra that was there.
Yes. A full-on carbon fiber Huayra. Oh.
Yeah, that was a beautiful car.
I was like, oh, all right, this is it for me. Like,
no La Ferraris though.
I didn't see
Not
any.
a single one. A bunch of Aventadors.
Some P1s I saw.
You saw a P1?
Saw a P1.
Oh.
Like a multicolored one with gold wheels, but I don't know whose booth it was in.
Yeah, I missed that one. I will say that one of the nicest cars that I saw there, in my taste, and I would definitely consider buying one, was probably the last car we saw before we left.
The fuck was that?
You don't remember?
No.
The
Vegas was like a blur.
wide body slant nose Porsche Targa. The new one.
Oh, the orange one.
That car
from Topo.
Yes.
Wide Body King.
Who is that? Who is he?
He owns a shop called Wide Body Kings in Cali.
That's what it's called?
As far as I know. I may be wrong. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, we met him at the Vossen party.
Yes.
And he was just super cool. And
that car was
orange,
insane.
It was
a
nuts.
steel. It was a custom steel conversion.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said it took like 8 weeks to do.
Right. Custom one-off center locking rims. It was just it was an orange Targa.
I think it was like a $60,000 conversion. They were saying.
Really?
Yeah, and I tell you, that's feasible.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just looked right. It sounded right. I mean, it was really, really well done. It wasn't like bolt-on bullshit. It was really well done.
And it was the new Porsche Targa with the new top that they have.
Right.
So if anybody hasn't seen that, check that out online. It's really cool. It's fully
really cool.
Fully automated.
I mean, I can't tell you that
well.
I've ever been a fan of the Targas, but it looks super cool. This one's really
a lot of engineering behind that. A lot of engineering.
Absolutely.
But I used to have a wide body slant nose turbo convertible, a real 505 Porsche 930. And it was a fantastic car. Hindsight, I should never have sold it. It'd be worth like $350 today, and I sold it for like $85,000. This car, being a modern day Porsche, with the reliability and the looks and that automatic target top, it's like a hard top convertible. This thing's sick.
Yeah, it is.
And I fell in love with that car. That was a cool car.
Yeah, it was cool.
I could see myself driving one of those.
I don't know, man. You in an orange car? I don't know.
I didn't say orange.
Oh.
I did not say orange. It would have to be
white.
That's right.
Yeah, because Seth is the Jewish side of the KKK.
I thought I heard a knock. Did you hear a knock?
I didn't hear anything.
Knock, knock. No knock.
Yeah. Silence.
Okay, yeah. It's one of those ghosts.
Seth's schizophrenia is acting up.
It's one of those ghosts. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, T. Last night I had a long talk with somebody about conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to try to get them on the podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they were totally debunking everything that you believe.
Oh, no, they're not coming on the podcast.
Yes,
we don't like anybody that tells lies.
Yeah. All right, so getting back to SEMA, the first night we went to the Vossen party, which wasn't really a party. It was Vossen did not have a booth at SEMA.
Well, in the convention halls, right.
They had a booth in a hotel.
Right, which is like a new idea.
Which was really cool. I mean, they had their own private suite. And, I kind of get it. And I'll tell you why. Because they got a lot of people to go, and it was a captive audience. They're not drifting to, like, another booth next to them. Like, oh, yeah, we're here at Voss. Oh, look, there's Pirelli, and there's Michelin.
Right, that's a good point.
There's no distractions whatsoever. And they had full displays set up.
Right.
And they had a party. We met Mike.
Right, Mike Vossen. And
nice guy. And
and he was doing something with our own It's White Noise. Liz and Andrew, and he was doing collaboration with them on their new GT3 RS and their GT4.
Yeah.
and
which they both had on display at the show.
Right, and one was in front of the hotel where the Boston party took place, and they did that with us at Car Lifestyle, and Car Lifestyle was represented on both cars.
So we went there to check it out. It was like the top floor of the hotel. We met a lot of really good people there, people that we really vibed with well,
including Damon Fryer from Daily Driven Exotics.
Yep, and who knows a lot of people that we know, all in conjunction. People from Gold Rush Rally, people from the East Coast, and I have to say, I'm not gonna lie, I tip my hat to Car Lifestyle. As soon as we walked into any place and these guys had their Car Lifestyle credentials on or their shirts, everybody's like, "Oh, you're the guys from Car Lifestyle?" It's really, I tell you, I can't lie, it was impressive.
Thank you.
It is so well known and recognized. The Car Lifestyle brand is recognized worldwide, which is incredible because, listen, okay, Exotics Rally's been around since 2007.
Right.
I don't have a sliver of the recognition that Car Lifestyle has. Not even a sliver. But I'm also very, generally localized here in Long Island.
Right. And when you really launched and you really were going hard,
it was Long Island.
Social media wasn't as prevalent as it is today.
Correct. Now, people will say, "Oh, I've heard of that. But Car Lifestyle? No, they follow it. They know it. In that arena, in the SEMA arena, out of 3 million plus followers of Car Lifestyle, I'm going to guarantee that at least 1 million of those followers were at SEMA.
Maybe.
I'm telling you.
Maybe.
It's amazing.
Our reception was pretty astronomical.
It was amazing because we were at Vossen. Everybody got along real well. We met a lot of people. And before you know it, and a couple of drinks later, we decided that we were going to go to the Dubs event.
Right.
Which
where was that at? Foxtail Lounge or something like that?
Well, what happened was it was at the SLS Hotel. So when we got there, all the cars were on display out front. So we were doing like a whole photo shoot, this and that.
Right.
And then we ran into the guys from Ceramic Pro, who I knew.
Right.
And I think Gabe said that they were doing something at the Foxtail Lounge, which I thought was just going to be like a reception.
Right.
And so when we got there, the coordinator for their marketing.
Wait a second. That was the Dub party. We were supposed to go to the Rides party, but we didn't go, right?
Correct. We were supposed to go to Rides.
Got it.
So then all of a sudden, the head of marketing for Dubs,
Mike Kovacs,
sees you with your Car Lifestyle shirt. He goes, "Yo, you're the dudes from Car Lifestyle. Yo, you got to come in. You have to come in. No, you guys are coming in." And he like gets on his microphone and he gets his clipboard and he's like, "No, these guys are with me. No, they're coming in." And before you know it, it was like a dozen of us all walked in together. And we had met Damon at Vossen, so he came with us.
He was with us, right?
Right. So we had Damon. We had this guy from this Wide Body Kings.
Right, Topo.
Right. What's his name?
Topo. T-O-P-O.
Oh, Topo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't.
You got to say it the Spanish way. Topo.
Oh. Thank you for clarifying.
Got you, bro.
Mi comprende.
Yeah, no problem.
Gracias, amigo.
Ya tu sabes.
So we went, and this guy's like, "No, you're coming in. And we wound up being there, and Johnson Jeng was there from Gold Rush Rally, who also owns Juno Power, who I had some experience with because I bought some of his products for my last rally.
Which are very good products.
Yeah, he's got great products. He just actually stepped down from the board there. That's another story, but he's working on another project. But the company's still going strong. And so we went in and we decided that we were going to join them at their table. We did not even know. In fact, I didn't know that it was a club.
Right. I didn't know either. I mean, it
said Foxtail Lounge. And when you first walked in, it looked like there were tables and like a garden with candles.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, this is going to be pretty cool. We
Yeah.
could just chill."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, "Yo, Nelly's performing tonight." People are spraying champagne. I'm like, "Okay, we're in."
Yeah.
So we go to the table, and we're hanging out. And the guys from Ceramic Pro were there. They were having a good time. Damon was having a good time. And they said that it was like Nelly's birthday party that night. So before you know it, everybody's drinking. We're having a great time. And I turn around and... Now, many people don't know Gabe intimately.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Gabe is a very reserved person.
Yeah, very confined.
Very confined, very reserved. He's not like a party animal or anything like that.
He's also not too social. Doesn't go out of his way to speak to people. He's very very contained.
He's not antisocial.
Right. He's not antisocial.
He doesn't make the first move.
Yeah, he's just not. He's not very.
He's laid back.
Social.
He's laid back.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, Gabe was up on top of the couch dancing like a maniac.
He was like Jersey Shore in Vegas.
He was.
He was legit fist pumping.
Yeah, he was Paulie D.
We were like, what the fuck?
We're like, what happened? Did somebody put something in his drink?
Like, I turn around and Cato from Liberty Walk is there, and he was like, oh, T-minus and Carlifestyle and this and that. And he starts drinking with us, and then he was like, you know, you have a partner, right? And I was like, yeah, that's him. I was like, that's him. Gabe right there that's jumping on the couch and fist pumping. That's Gabe. That's the dude that started it.
And before you know it, they were taking pictures, right?
Right. We were taking pictures with them.
Selfies and all sorts of
we
fun
had a
stuff.
sick time then. And, you know, Seth bought a bottle. Some other people bought a bottle. You know, I had a few drinks. Okay. You know, I'm a big guy. I could take some drinks. Then Damon bought 3 magnums of rosé.
Veuve Clicquot or something,
Veuve
right?
Clicquot, right. Yo, I was obliterated. I'm telling you, I don't even remember the cab ride home. I don't remember anything.
Well, then
after that.
we did experience something interesting with Damon, and
Yes, that's true.
This is very popular amongst Uber partygoers.
Yeah, partygoers.
I've seen it a lot in the Hamptons, out here on
It's
Long
in the
Island.
city, of course.
It happens in
Popping
the city
bottles.
at brunches, but not just popping bottles, but spraying the crowd with the champagne. So Damon,
Yeah, I wouldn't have been too happy.
you know, Damon probably spent like, I don't know, $4 or $5 grand on 3 bottles of champagne.
$6,000 on 3 bottles.
3 bottles, and then proceeded.
We didn't even drink them.
Yes,
he gave me a bottle, and he was like, shake it and spray the crowd. And I was like, okay.
And we showered the whole crowd, and it got a little wild. People
Because Nelly got hit.
yeah, well, other people got pretty upset. We had a full crew of security and bouncers in front of us that we took care of, so they were just like, "Sorry, you got wet. Take a hike." So then all of a sudden, Nelly got a little wet from champagne, so Nelly wasn't too happy.
Right, so he sent his bodyguards over.
Yes, and at the end of the day, Damon took care of that.
Yes, he did.
He threw them a nice chip that he had from gambling.
That's right.
He was like, "Here, give this to Nelly. Tell him happy birthday."
And, you know, money talks and bullshit walks.
And that was it. And he was like, "All right, he did the right thing. Let's continue." And he was just, singing, dancing, doing his thing, which, it was pretty good. Even though he doesn't have any new material. It was
Right.
He's more of a producer now than anything. But it was still good.
No, it was awesome.
I enjoyed it.
No, it was a crazy experience.
And I think we weren't even there that late, but we left. But I will say this. The following morning was
forget
interesting. Hold on.
No, forget it.
That was the first night in Vegas, and everybody goes hard the first night. But
Yeah, Ryan Turk was making fun of me. He's like, you guys are amateurs.
We'll get there. So I'm not saying that I'm a professional or that I'm a seasoned veteran or anything like that. But, I tend to go out more than T-minus and Gabe. I probably tend to get inebriated more than them. Not that I do it on an everyday basis.
No, he's definitely an alcoholic.
And, I can function with no problem. So I was up at like 9 a.m. the next morning like, yo, what's up? And all you heard was, that was coming from T-minus. And I'm like, oh, shit, where's Gabe? Gabe was nowhere to be found in the bed.
Yeah, where the fuck was he?
He was hugging the porcelain
Oh, that's
god.
right. Oh, that's right.
I found Gabe laying on the floor in the bathroom, heaving.
Yeah, he threw up the whole next day. You're right. I forgot about that.
Gabe and T-minus.
Yeah, I was
stayed in the room
destroyed.
the entire day.
Destroyed. I couldn't even go to SEMA. We were there for 3 days, and I missed an entire day.
The second day of SEMA is a total blur to these guys. I was like, hey, I'm good. I went there the first day. I'll go there the third day. It's not a big deal. I'm cool. I ordered some food to the room. These guys are just like, Gabe ate, then threw up again.
Yo.
He was so crippled. It was hysterical.
It was funny.
I loved every
He
minute
couldn't
of
even
it.
talk.
Ryan Turk's like, you guys are a bunch of pussies. I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
Ryan, tell him. Everybody's like, these guys are lame. And then Damon came to the room with Johnson Jang. We had like a boys session of just talking for like 3 hours while everybody stared at each other because we were so hungover.
I was so destroyed.
But I was just chilling. I gotta say, I was chilling. I went downstairs. I went gambling for a little bit. I had a good time gambling in that place.
Yeah. Seth has a good time everywhere gambling.
It was a lot of fun. And then Gabe stayed in the room. I think that's the day we went to get lunch at that buffet in the Aria.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good.
Which was a sick buffet.
It was pretty damn good.
It was like 10 countries. They had everything represented. They had like China, Japan, Mexico,
Korea, Thai,
everything. So they had every type of food you could imagine in there, which was a plethora.
It was.
It was massive.
Yeah, Seth's like, I'm going back for round 4. Then he's like, I'm going back for round 256. I was like, oh shit.
I'm like, get me a fucking wheelchair. Put me to bed.
Yeah.
So I think that night we just chilled, and the next night is when we went out to dinner. So the next day we went back.
Wait. So Thursday night we went to STK?
No, that was Wednesday night. Thursday night we came home.
No, that's correct. So Wednesday night was
So
Wednesday was the night that we were obliterated. That's when we went to Henry Rollins.
Henry who?
Richard Rollins. Yeah. I'm a little confused.
We saw Henry Fisker.
Wait, so was that Wednesday?
Let's get back into chronological order.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, hold on. Slow down. Tuesday, that night you got obliterated. Wednesday was
No,
Monday night you got obliterated?
Monday night we got there.
No.
Yes.
Monday night we got there, but we went to SEMA on Tuesday.
Right. And then Tuesday night we got obliterated.
Wednesday
was hangover day.
Okay.
That's
Thursday,
when we went.
You're right. Okay. So Thursday we spent at SEMA.
Yes.
Which was another great day. We had a good time.
No, we had an awesome time on Thursday.
We met up with a lot of people that day. We saw Ryan for a while.
Ryan Turk, right?
Hung out with him at the
Valvoline booth.
Booth. Yeah, where he was signing autographs. We had a good time. That's when Damon was introduced to Ryan.
Right.
And I saw my good friend Klaus Ettensberger.
Yeah, he's a trip. That's my homie.
That night is when we recorded a podcast with Klaus, which will be on our next episode.
Which went really well.
Yeah, you guys will definitely enjoy that. Klaus is a super, super guy. He's a very high energy guy. He's got a lot going on in his business, which will be revealed on that podcast. So definitely tune into the next one. So that night, we had some options to go to dinner. And we were invited by a couple of guys that recently did my last rally, the Hunt Rally, to go to STK.
Right.
STK is a steakhouse. I'm sure people have heard of it. If not, check it out if there's one in your area. They have extremely very good cut of steaks, and it's a great vibe. They always have a DJ, and it's just a cool steakhouse.
Right.
So there we are. We're chilling, and we're having some food, and who walks in and goes to sit down with his entourage? None other than a nemesis of mine.
None other than the guy that Seth's been calling out on these podcasts for the last 18 podcasts.
Yes. Mr. Richard Rawlings.
From Gas Monkey Garage, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and I see the guy walk in. I'm like, yo, is that Richard Rawlings? And Seth's busy talking to, the guests we had at the table and whatnot, and I confirmed it, and I was like, oh, shit. This guy is in the restaurant. Can't wait to tell Seth now.
So I was like, fuck him, this and that. I'm like, you know what? I should send a round of drinks over to his table.
No, I told him you to do that. I was like, yo, you want to be...
Did you? Okay, yeah.
Right, I was like, you want to be really gangster and fuck this guy over?
Send over a round of drinks.
Right. So Seth's like, I'm going to do that.
I got this. So I grabbed the waiter. I'm like, listen, go up there. See that guy? He's Richard Rawlings from Gas Monkey Garage. You tell him that Seth Rose from Bull Run wants to buy them a round of drinks. So he comes back and he's like... are you sure you want to do this? And I was like, why? He goes, because they wanted a bottle of champagne.
Right. They're trying to bang Seth out at this point.
Well, no, they weren't trying to bang me out yet. So they said they wanted a bottle of champagne. I'm like, all right, so what does a bottle of champagne go for? $400-$500? I said, you know what? Just to make a point, I'll do it.
Right. Principle.
Right. So then the waiter comes back again. And the waiter says, listen, I think they're really trying to bang you out. And I was like, well, why do you say that? He goes, they want a magnum of Dom Perignon. And I'm like...
Meanwhile, we're in STK where napkins cost $60.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, so how much is the Magnum of Dom Perignon? He goes, it's $1,800. So I was like, oh, all right.
Seth had a little bit of a
hesitation.
He had a little bit of a thinking time.
I'm looking at T-Minus. T-Minus like, that's up to you, man. Shit. This guy's really trying to do you dirty.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, man.
$1,800?
I'm like,
that's a lot for a fucking point.
I'm like, he's trying to get back at me for that fucking interview with Help Me Howard. He's trying to get back at me for all the shit talking I've done. I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe I deserve it a little. I'm like, you know what? I said to the waiter, fuck him. Go ahead. Give him the fucking bottle.
Right.
So I'm like, give him the Magnum. T-Minus like, dude, that's nuts and gangster at the same time.
It is. It is gangster.
Everybody at my table's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, fuck it. What are you going to do? You only live once.
Seriously.
So I send him a Magnum of Dom Perignon. So then all of a sudden, who comes down to the table? Mr. Richard Rawlings.
Himself.
He's like, hey, how you doing? This and that. I'm like, you remember me, right? He goes, oh, yeah, how can I forget you? So we're just bullshitting for a couple seconds. You guys enjoying SEMA, this and that. And he was really, I got to say, he was very nice, very humble, didn't have anything bad to say.
No.
Nothing at all.
Super cool guy.
Right. We're bullshitting with him, and he's like, yeah, we were just breaking your balls about that bottle. Don't worry about it. I told him not to charge you. I said, really? Because here's the receipt. I had already signed my Amex receipt for like 18 and change. And he's like, oh, shit. He's like, I told him not to charge you. So he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a knot of money. He says, let me give you the money for the bottle.
Yeah, total good sport.
Yeah, so I was like, no, it's not necessary, this and that. He's like, let me give you something. So I think he gave me $700.
Right.
He gave me $700 towards the bottle. I was like, all right, whatever.
You guys are meeting in the middle.
Well, not really the middle, but anyway.
It's pretty fucking close.
Pretty
Seth.
close. So I was like, whatever, that's cool. You know, he made the effort, call it a day. So he gave me $700 cash. And then there were other people at other tables who were like, hey, Richie, can we take a picture? Can we take a picture? He's like, ah, shit. So he took a couple of quick pictures. And then T-Minus asked him for his business card. And he's like, hold on, let me make sure I give you the real one.
Yeah, this is really funny.
Because he has fake ones with other numbers on it.
Right, he carries fake business cards to give to, like, I don't know. Right, exactly.
But he gave T-Minus a real one, and we told him we're going to link up with him. We want to get a podcast done. He did say he would do it, but, you know, a lot of people try to appease people by saying, yeah, I'll do it, and it may never happen.
Right, it might not transpire, right. But he was definitely into it, and I was like, yo, we just want to do it. You know, we'll come out to your place maybe, and he was like, yeah. He was like, give me a call. So I have yet to do that, but I will be getting on that.
Yeah, so we're going to try to get that all sorted out. But that was a pretty cool experience. We had a good time. But after that, we were both pretty tired.
Yeah.
So we did not go out that night.
Right.
We decided to say, fuck it.
Right. There was a couple parties. We went to Gran Turismo party. And
we
it was
walked in, walked out.
Right. It was like too early. There weren't enough people there. And I was like, let's get out of here.
Yeah. And so we took a walk, called it a day, and went back to our hotel. And I think you went to sleep and I went to gamble.
No. Yes.
That's when we ran into Klaus.
That was Wednesday. That was, no.
Yes.
When did we go to dinner?
That was
Wednesday.
When we got back is when we ran into Klaus.
Right. Klaus and the other guy.
And Anrik Fisker.
That's it. Mr. Fisker himself. Yes.
He was there. And
who had a little bit of a wonderment when I said my name was T-Minus. He was like, okay, buddy. Okay.
But he's relaunching Fisker.
Okay.
They're coming out with some new product lines. And I guess we'll see what the future holds for Fisker.
Right.
But, Klaus has been doing SEMA since SEMA started. He's a lifetime veteran of SEMA. He is a lifetime veteran of the wheel game.
Yeah, no, honestly, this is the guy that started the aftermarket wheel business. He started in, like, the mid-'80s. Yeah.
He was the first one to advertise, like, full-page spreads in DuPont
Registry. Absolutely. I used to follow all his shit because his company was the only company doing it. I mean, there was nobody else making rims.
Nobody else had, like, Einke rims and this and that.
Right. It was only, like,
what were
BBS,
some of the brands back then? BBS, Einke, right?
Enke.
Momo, Fittipaldi.
Well, Fittipaldi was a division of Momo, right? BBS, obviously.
Right, you said that.
Kinesis.
Yeah, there were a couple.
Fixie.
Fiske, right?
No, Fikse. Yeah, Fixie.
And he was a Brabus dealer.
Right.
He was
but that was before any of that shit really came here.
Heyman.
Novitec.
That came a little later.
That came later, right? Rentec.
What else was there?
Wait, Tech Art.
Yeah. What am I'm trying? Lorenza. He was the original Lorenza guy.
Yeah. He's the one that made Lorenza hot in
the U.S. and North America.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the one that did all celebrity cars. He's good friends with Schwarzenegger and Stallone and all these really big people.
That's how I met Ice-T.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he introduced us. Ice-T, it's kind of a funny story how they met. He didn't tell the story on a podcast, so I'll tell it real quick.
Cool.
Ice-T was chilling in Vegas, and he had a Ferrari at the time. He had a Ferrari, I'm going to say it must have been a 348 or a 360 that he was driving.
Okay.
And Ice always drove stick-shift cars. He was big into manuals. And he was on the side of the road. He was looking under the front bumper because something was dragging. He heard a noise. He couldn't figure it out. So Klaus happened to see him, came over and says, hello, yeah, I come here. What you need? I look at it for you. And he's like, who the fuck are you? He's like, who the hell is this crazy German guy who's like screaming at me? Because Klaus, when he talks, it's almost like he's yelling at you.
He's energetic, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a ton of energy. A real positive guy. And he's like, no, let me look. And he looks underneath and he sees what's wrong with the car. He gets under there and he fixes it and this and that. And, it was Ice-T, but he didn't even know who Ice-T was.
Right. He was just an enthusiast.
A regular guy.
Right.
Hey, it's a Ferrari. I love Ferraris. Let me help this guy out.
Right.
Then he realized that he was like this superstar, rap icon.
Right.
And they became friends. And Ice-T, anything he ever needed on the West Coast was done by Klaus. And they, turned that into a friendship. And they've been friends ever since. And in fact, Ice's son, Little Ice.
Or Ice Marrow.
Or Tracy Marrow Jr.
Right.
Worked for Klaus for a little bit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in his showroom. He helped him out. So they've been good friends for a long time. And on Bull Run in 2010, me and Klaus had become friends in 2009. So in 2010, when Ice and Coco were on the rally, he introduced me to them, and it just blossomed from there. He just, Ice took a liking to me because of my driving and skills and the lack of my respect for the law.
That's why we all love Seth.
And then in 2011, Ice almost knocked a motherfucker out because of me, which was really interesting. It was like the actor and everything, that hat came off and his LA hat went on.
Hell yeah.
And he got all up in some motherfucker's face in Alabama where it got legit, where they were calling the cops on Ice. It was pretty crazy. That's when
That was the valet, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It got crazy. So anyway, Ice and me have been friends for a while, and that's all because of Klaus. Anyway, back to SEMA. We pretty much wrapped up SEMA on the last day. We went back to the show for a little bit, and then we got a flight. Did we fly back in the morning or at night? I think we
went to the Gold Rush premiere.
Right. There you go. Yes, we went to the Gold Rush premiere, that movie, which was
It was all right.
Listen, we can be critical.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to be.
Why? Because it sucked?
No, just because I'd like to remain neutral.
It sucked.
I'd like to remain neutral.
It sucked.
I'm going to have to plead the fifth.
It sucked.
I need my lawyer, please.
You're a pussy.
I need a lawyer.
You're a pussy.
I am what I eat.
Stop being a pussy.
Why should I stop?
You are what you eat? You said you don't do that.
I don't actually do that.
So you lied.
I lied.
All right, so the Gold Rush movie, it wasn't my cup of tea.
Right.
I can be a critic. Other people liked it. I didn't. I just felt that if you have, 75 cars on a rally, you have 150 people, people should all be in the movie. And there were probably about 15 to 20 people that were on the rally in the actual movie.
And they were all actually from New York, which was awesome.
Yeah, which is pretty wild.
Liz from It's White Noise had the dopest part.
Yeah, that was on the track.
Her entrance to the car, the music, everything was like epic.
Yeah, it was like really like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah. And the music, the soundtrack.
The soundtrack was phenomenal. Yeah, it was amazing.
But the content, with the exception of Liz from It's White Noise, the content just wasn't there for me.
Right. I mean, as far as like watching it as like a real true documentary of what goes on in Gold Rush, it didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, live and learn, and the Gold Rush is still young. It's only open, 8
years.
8 years. Look at that. So
not that young.
No, it's not that old.
No, so
I'm gonna have to go back to my neutrality.
Oh yeah. So anyway,
it was cool.
It was cool. We
had a good time.
We saw a lot of people that we like to mix with, and then after that we did a little gambling. Then we went to the airport, and our flight
proceeded to lose more money.
And our flight was delayed for
another 2.5 hours.
2 to 3 hours, which was horrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
But it just seems that flights are always delayed.
But there was slot machines right beside our boarding gate, and Seth was like, I got nothing better to do. So, of course, that encouraged me to say, well, I'm not doing shit with my time. I should do this. And Seth won again. And I lost again.
I didn't really win.
You didn't really lose.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, it's not too funny.
Yes, it was.
It's how the rich get richer.
No, why?
Fuck these
gambling?
rich people.
From gambling?
Yeah, because Dan Blazarian made his money by building homes.
He did.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, he's very fortunate.
Yes.
For many reasons.
Yes.
One of them being owning a 6x6 Mercedes.
Yeah, that takes the cake from me.
That's fortunate.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's being fortunate.
That shit is fucking gangster.
I'd love to own one.
Dude, trade the spiker in.
I probably could.
And then use your dealer plate, your transport plate, and that's it. And let's go drive through people's houses.
No.
Why?
I would just park that on the sidewalk in front of every nightclub I go to and whatnot. Just park it and be like...
That would be so fucking gangster.
Because you become so recognizable.
Absolutely. With that, no one has it.
Even the spiker, nobody has. And people know that when they see my spiker, they know, oh, Seth is here.
Right.
But that is more epic, I think.
Oh, that is epic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like something out of Star Wars, like a
Fuck
Stormtrooper mobile. If I
Yeah,
get one in white,
you gotta mount like gun racks to the outside of the fucking thing.
big gun turret and stuff.
Oh my god, dude.
Night vision everywhere.
Oh, it'd be fucking sick. Could you do it?
We could do a viral video with that one.
Seth, we could do a viral video every day with that fucking truck. Just the reactions alone would just be retarded.
It is a cool truck.
Fucking nuts. I don't know if anybody's seen the review of the Brabus 6x6 or the AMG 6x6 on Top Gear, but they legitimately drive the thing through a 1/4-mile swimming pool.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
The water's 4 feet high and they're driving like 2 miles an hour.
Really?
They're just chilling in the water in Dubai in like a 1/4-mile wave pool.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Oh, it's retarded. We'll see it after this.
Excellent.
Yeah, so Seth, you need one.
So that was SEMA. SEMA was a good time. I have big plans for next year. I'm trying to start sorting them out. I've emailed a couple of people. I had this sick idea for Carlifestyle, which we talked about. You probably don't remember. You were a little
I can't remember anything. Yeah.
What I'd like to do is get a booth for Carlifestyle.
Oh, right. Absolutely.
And we will do a live podcast. Well, not live podcast, but a podcast recording with a lot of different people while we're there. We found out this year it's very hard to nail people down to do podcasts during SEMA.
Right. Just everybody's so inundated with information and just people they have to meet and people they have to talk to. And SEMA being so big, you just can't get everybody in the same place at the same time. So you got to travel. And it's honestly, it's pandemonium.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult. We tried to get more people to interview. It was very hard. But we are definitely next year going to lock it down in a different way. I'm looking to get a booth, have a big Carlifestyle setup, as well as have a podcast set up there. And I'm going to do up one of my cars and probably ship it out there to have on display.
Hell yeah.
I'm just not sure which car yet.
You could tie in Art of Rap with that.
Yeah, that's what I plan on doing.
Yep.
I'm just not sure which car.
The 6x6.
Oh, right. Let
me tell you, if you had a fucking 6x6 and you wrapped it and did wheels, you would be the motherfucking star of SEMA. Like, that'd be it.
There wasn't any 6x6 there.
Dude, this is fucking money well spent.
Whose money?
Not found money. The money you work for.
All right, so listen, we've been having this dispute.
Yeah.
Between free money and found money.
Yeah.
Now,
this is between Seth and I.
Yes. So I want all our listeners, please, email us at podcast@car-lifestyle.com.
Right.
That's podcast
Your
at
opinions.
car-lifestyle.com. I want to know what you think is free money and what do you think is found money. Now, my opinion, and don't interrupt me, T. My opinion is...
Who interrupts you, bro?
Found money is like you go and put on a coat that you haven't worn in a year, you reach into the pocket, boom, there's $100 that you left in there. That's found money. Found money is money that you find on the sidewalk. That's found money. Free money is, money that you... what's the best way to explain it?
I don't know, because you can't explain it correctly. Because your shit sucks.
Free money is money that is just given to you by an outside source. And
all right.
Now, what do you think free and found money is?
I think anything that you didn't account for, you didn't know you were going to get, excuse me, is free money.
Excuse the coffee. He's just getting over bronchitis.
Right. So you put on a fucking coat that you haven't worn in a while and there's $20 in the pocket. That's free money. That's not money you knew was there.
But it was yours to begin with.
Doesn't matter, though. You didn't know it. You thought it was gone. You lost that money. You said, oh, man, I don't know what I did with that $20. It was a year ago. You don't know about it. It is completely gone from your life. You didn't say, man, you know what? I missed that $20 a year ago. I'm going to look in my closet. Maybe I left it in my pockets. Then that would be found money. But because you put on the jacket randomly, and randomly you put your hand in that pocket, and boom, the $20 is there, that's free money.
It's found money.
It's free. You should go and you should celebrate with that money.
It was lost, and now you found it.
Right.
You found it.
Okay. So
Found
in
money.
that terminology,
Found money.
wrong. Free, dude. It's free money.
All right, what else do you think is free money?
This all came up over the
Gambling.
No, over the comptroller
Oh,
giving
yeah,
us
from
the
New York
free
State.
money.
That
Yeah.
wasn't free money. That was my money.
No, it was your money that
was
you
found.
didn't know you had. If you don't know you have something and you are now getting it,
so
it's
here's
free.
the deal. I had a life insurance policy years ago that I cashed out, and I started a new policy. And when I cashed it out, they gave me the principal. They had not given me all the interest on it yet, and I forgot about it.
Right.
I never followed up.
Right, he's completely forgotten about it. He doesn't
I
even know
totally
it's
forgot
there.
about it.
Right.
All of a sudden, I looked with the controller of New York State for any type of lost monies, put in my name, and there was a unspecified amount. So I submitted for it, and they sent me a rather large check, which represented all the interest and earnings on my money that I had not received from the life insurance company on a policy that I closed. Now, that is my money. I'm entitled to that. Okay? That's not free money.
It's free.
It's found.
Seth didn't know he had it.
Oh, my God.
Seth didn't know he had it, right?
This is an ongoing battle.
Yeah. Well, Seth didn't know he had it. So, boom, all of a sudden he gets this check. They're like, okay, it's pretty substantial. He's like, how much? They're like, it's pretty substantial. Right? So
Let's not go into numbers.
Right. Who cares? Because it doesn't matter about the numbers. It matters that Seth had no idea this money was coming to him. He had completely forgotten. So now, all of a sudden, just let's say he got $200 from it. That's now free money because you weren't aware of it. You didn't work for that.
Found.
Free, bro.
Found.
Free.
So
now,
I want everybody
right.
to give us their opinion.
Exactly.
What do you think is found? What do you think is free?
Like when you find money on the street, that's free money. You didn't work for that shit?
If you found somebody else's money, that is free money.
Yeah, of
Because
course
it
it's
wasn't
free
yours,
money.
it wasn't lost.
Yeah, and if
that's
you
my
and
point.
if you
That's
go
free money.
and if you go gambling and you win $700, you didn't plan on winning that $700.
That's earned money.
No, dude, that's not strategy. When you put the fucking quarter in the machine, you
Wait a
pull the
second.
handle, and
I
now
had
you
to
win
put up- I had to
$700.
put up my own money to win that.
Okay, so you put it $1 in the slot machine, you won $700.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
earned money.
Okay, it's earned, but it's free, dude.
No, it's not.
No, free. Found is the dollar that you put into the machine. That's the dollar you put into the machine.
No.
Winning $699 on your $1 is like winning the lottery. That
You're
is
such
free
a
money.
confused child.
You're fucking confused. You didn't have to work for that $699. You put your $1 in, and you made your $1 back. You also made $699 extra, but not from something that you had a skill. It's luck. And to some people, luck doesn't even exist because it's not tangible. So, it's free.
Just like chemtrails.
Bow. That's right. That's right.
Oh,
So-
my God.
We'd like to hear your opinion. So, email. Get on the email.
Great.
Let's see what you have to say.
On another note, my car, I believe, is finally done. One of them.
Yes, the Conquest.
The Conquest TSI. We had a rally a couple of weeks ago.
Turkey Run.
Right. Turkey Run for Charity, which was what did I say? Was the 9th annual? Yeah, 9th.
Yeah.
Crazy. 9 years I've been doing that. The 9th annual Turkey Run for Charity, benefiting the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We were able to give a large portion of money to charity for a child who is terminally ill to grant a wish for them to go to Disney World. And we did it with the hunt style and the scavenger hunt. It worked out very well. And one of the tasks was to go take a picture with my car, which recently got finished. And so Mo at Petrol Works has finished that car. I've got to go pick it up. And then we got to maybe get a little body work done to it, some paint work, and then it'll be complete. But I'm very excited to drive that, especially now that the cold weather is here, because it is a
Turbo. Absolutely.
and nothing likes turbo more than cold air.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that. Again, if anybody has any questions, comments, podcast at car-lifestyle.com. Send us all your requests for any type of topics. This was kind of like an in-between. We are back in action. This one is going to air and then followed up by Klaus Ettensberger from CEC Wheels and all the news in his life. And then we'll have another podcast for us. Right now it's the holiday season, so we want to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah,
A very
Merry
safe
Christmas. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving and filled their bellies. If I'm missing anybody, happy Kwanzaa. And to the car world, we hope you stay safe. Keep the shiny side up as always, and be careful out there. And we're
fucking Seth with the PSAs.
We're gonna close with one more thing that just came up. So I want to discuss this topic.
Right.
And I have to say this has become near and dear to T-Minus's heart. And about 48 hours ago, T-Minus made me aware of a little girl who is now 8 years old.
Correct.
Who was nearly fatally burned in an arson up in Schenectady, New York. And this took place 3 years ago. Her entire family was burned to death. It was set. The house was set ablaze by an ex-boyfriend of the child's mother, and I guess the husband was still living with her at the time.
Correct.
And the husband put his body over the little girl to shield her from the fire.
Subsequently, he was killed.
He was killed in the fire. She has undergone. She was found in a pile of debris. Alive, barely. She has undergone, I think, more than 50 surgeries.
Correct.
She's had a foot and a hand amputated.
Yes.
In those surgeries. It is extremely tragic. Horrible. I mean, I can't even possibly imagine my children ever going through anything like that, let alone myself or an adult or anybody that's close to me.
She's badly disfigured. Yes.
The picture that was posted online, there was...
her name is Sapphire Terry.
Yeah, her name is Sapphire Terry. It's spelled Safyre.
Correct.
Terry, Terry, from Schenectady, New York. And now her aunt has sole custody of her, and they're raising her and doing the best that they can. And it turns out that her aunt and uncle are not in the best financial positions. They have never reached out to anybody for any type of help or any type of money. They've been self-funding any type of surgeries, travel expense, or anything. Her
entire recovery, yep.
Most recently, when she's a stay-at-home mom, most recently her husband, the little girl's uncle, lost his job, and the house that they were renting, it turns out, is actually in foreclosure, unbeknownst to them. The rent they were paying, the landlord was just filling his own pockets, and they were the lawyer was trying to evict them out of the house. Long story short, they posted a picture of her with this metal Christmas tree style display which holds Christmas cards,
right.
And they were asking,
and a family
people,
friend stepped up named Kevin Clark.
Right.
He took a picture and asked his friends on his page. He only had 600 friends.
On Facebook.
Right. Asked his friends to please, send her a Christmas card. Well, somebody shared it. And in 6 hours' time, it went viral, and 35,000 people now have shared it.
Right. So it's become a big talk of the town, especially not only worldwide, but locally, because it touches home with us because it's in New York.
It's in New York, right.
Schenectady is upstate New York. It's not incredibly far from us. T-Minus brought it to my attention, said,
I saw it, and I was just thinking in my head, like,
we got to do
cards
something.
and prayers are just not going to be enough, man. We got to, I was like, I got to do something, and I called Seth immediately, and I was like, how do we do this? Can you set up a GoFundMe? And he was like, he didn't say, well, let me get lunch, and I'll give you a call back, or, I'm really busy. He was like, hold on 2 seconds, let me get this done. And, he went to it, and within 15 minutes, the GoFundMe was up, and he had donated the first $5. Carlifestyle then gave $250, and the fight has been on. It's been on for now 2 days. We're already at almost $1,800, and I'm in the process of getting the entire car community behind me, with influencers like It's White Noise and Matt from 1552 Wheels, people from Central, My friend Cecil Bagay, who does the marketing for Formula Drift, be in touch with Ryan Turk. And we're going to try to really make this and get the car community to unify behind the cause for donations for this GoFundMe that Seth and I will structure into a trust fund in her name or a college fund in her name.
Yeah, so we have a show this Sunday,
right?
Which we're going to raise money. We have a GoFundMe. Everybody can look up the GoFundMe account.
The event this Sunday, which when you guys hear this, unless we get this out before Sunday, is in Whitestone. It's put on by the Empire Boys, who are big supporters of this cause also. And you can go to, and I'm pretty sure Seth is looking it up right now, the link for the GoFundMe, and just donate. Anything helps. If you put in 50 cents, it's something towards the cause. Obviously, the bigger the amount you donate, the more help it'll be for this little girl and her family. And they are not well-to-do. And honestly, they've done an outstanding job with her. And they never looked, they never looked for a handout or charity or whatever else. And I'm committed to this 200%. And Seth is behind me. So anything you guys can donate to this GoFundMe would be highly appreciated.
Yeah, the GoFundMe is gofundme.com/Cards for Sapphire. CARDSFORSAFYRE. Originally, when we started the GoFundMe, we were going to just raise some money to send her, a ton of cards. But since it's gone so viral, we're at this point, she's going to have more cards than she could ever need.
Right.
I think it's more important to send money for her future.
Absolutely. I mean, if you see the before and after pictures, if you just Google Sapphire Terry, tons of pictures will come up. And, it breaks my heart to see her like that. I don't think any little girl should have to go through this. And the fact that she lost her whole family in it, it's just incredibly tragic. And I'm taking it upon myself to be 200% committed to this cause. And Seth, like I said, he's my right-hand man, and boom. We're going to make this shit happen. And we're going to make it happen with everybody's help.
Yeah, everybody has embraced it, and it's really starting to get some momentum. So if everybody listening wants to log on, check it out. Again, it's gofundme.com/Cards for Sapphire. That's SAFYRE. That's how she spells her name. And hopefully we'll be able to raise a nice chunk of change and go present them with a nice check.
The GoFundMe will say that under the disclosure that it's part of Exotics Rally. So that way you'll be able to confirm that this is the correct GoFundMe.
Yes. And I think that's about it. Again, I hope everybody has a great holiday. You can reach us at T-minus?
At T-_Carlifestyle on Instagram, or through my email, which is T-NYC@car-lifestyle.com.
Again, please go online, give us a review on iTunes. It's very important. We want to keep this going strong. We apologize for our small hiatus. We are back in action now. We had a very busy 30 days. It's been absolutely crazy between the two rallies that I had. SEMA, T-minus has been traveling. So now we are back in action. The next podcast, again, is going to be Klaus from CEC. And then after that, we will have a little break for the holidays. And then we're back with the new year. So
and it's going to be exciting this year.
Yeah, 2016 is going to be a very big one because we are growing exponentially. Again, if you're not following Carlifestyle on Instagram, you're doing something wrong. So correct that. And you can find me at, let's see, I've got a lot of different Instagram accounts. So at Exotics Rally on Instagram, at Art of Rap NY, ARTOFWRAPNY. Also at The Hunt Rally. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the different platforms. Again, podcast at carlifestyle.com. Actually, it's car-lifestyle.com.
Correct.
And I think that's a wrap.
That's it.
Have a safe holiday, and we will see you soon.
Car Lifestyle.